team from to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Rise of Kronos, more things related to the Metal War, this new album, cancel of the prediction, and more things related to the Metal War. Starting with a question: what are you deciding? This is a common question. What are you decide to change the name to with the surface to Rise of Kronos?
Yeah, it was a hard decision because we went with the name Surface for about 10 or 11 years,
Yeah.
but the clicks online stagnated. Um, yeah, and we couldn't get any bigger because there were other bands in other genres with the same name um, that were bigger than us. And we it was very hard to find us online, and so the growth of the band was very difficult, and so we decided to go a new way, and we thought it would be time to yeah to do a little change maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you have to merge. When you go to a concert and see a couple of bands there, and you said, "Yeah, okay, I think the first band was really nice. Yeah, okay, the name was Surface, and now I'm going home, had a few beers, so I looked up at Google or somewhere else. Okay, let's search for them, Surface. Okay, there's Microsoft, there's another jazz band called Surface, but where's the metal band? Okay, I go to sleep and yeah, forgot it until the morning. So it's really hard to find us, and on this in the same place we thought, okay, let's have a change. So we changed two band members since we founded the Surface 11 years ago. So we thought, okay, now it's the perfect time to make a reset and start over new somehow, and that's where we are now, Rise of Kronos. So.
Hmm. Okay. I've been seeing your discography because you said team about you the first name Surface starts in 2010, then changed the name 2021. Your first album was released in 2011 by yourself. Then the second album was released by I think the name came from Rise of Kronos, your second album, because it's the Surface name says Rise of
Yeah,
Kronos. Then
right.
River Soul was released by Reaper Entertainment, and now this is release. This new album is released by MDD Records. So how was the transition for every label? Because you start by yourself, then you are for Kern Crafting Records and Reaper, and now MDD Records.
Yeah, I think back in 2011, we were really young, so about 16, 17, and we had no clue how to release an album actually. So we started in our rehearsal room recording the album by ourselves and just mix it somewhere and said, okay, let's bring it out. I remember that we press the CDs by ourselves and just make the booklet by ourselves and all the stuff. So we had no idea. That's why we released it by ourselves at the first album, and then going on to Rise of Kronos, we thought about a label, but at this particular moment, there weren't any labels that wanted to release the album. I think it depends on our missing experience to this time. So we thought, okay, let's do it by ourselves. And the digital release was, I think, 1 or 2 years later by Kernkraft Ritter Records, who did the digital release for us after the physical release. So and then in 2019, we released River of Souls, and we had a couple of offers from labels to release the new album, and we decided to work with Reaper. And it was fine in this moment, but after the whole pandemic situation, we thought, okay, we need a new start, and not only with our name but also with a new label. And yeah, Marcus is from MDD Records, is an old friend of us, so he reached out to us. But yeah, I heard the first single, Cycles, featuring Britta Gertz, and yeah, why not? Why shouldn't I release the album for you? So, and then we started, had a long talk, a really nice talk with him, and then we decided to yeah, work with him from now on. So, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully, we can work for more years from now on. So.
Okay, okay. So I also want to tell about your lyrics in your lyrics theme. So in all albums you talk about the Greek mythology, especially the name of the band is Rise of the Kronos. Kronos is and a god from the ends for the Greek mythology. So what are you decide to pick this subject into all your lyrics in all albums from Rise of Kronos? And why Kronos is the for you the I think for the name is perhaps Kronos is the most more important god for you.
Um, yeah, Kronos is the father of all gods, so he's the most powerful entity in the whole Greek mythology. Um, he even ate all his children until Zeus decided to free them from his stomach. So he's very very powerful, and so our name is very very powerful because he's in there. And the Greek mythology is a theme where you can pick many cool things from. There is brutality, there is philosophy, very very much philosophy in it, and so yeah, we are. Yeah, there's much variation in the whole concept, I think.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, I saw your music is death metal with a lot of groove things into there. So how are you define the sound, especially of the console of the production? Because I've been reading reviews about you play trash death metal. Other people say death metal, just death metal, or this in modern death metal, or there's this in groove death metal. So for you exactly, what is the exactly meaning that, oh, that the exactly label that the console of production has?
It's a really
That's
hard question, actually.
yeah, yeah. That's really hard. Uh,
Yeah, I think every record we put out until now, we you can hear the influences we had to this particular moment of our own biography. So it's always really personal what we write. And what is really special about this album is because is that we wrote this album during the pandemic and in home office, if you want. So the writing was really different this time, but we had a clear vision of what guitar sound we wanted, for example. And also, what was really new to on this album is that Tim and I, shared the vocals almost 50% which makes another character, gives another character, another whatever to this album. So I think if you want a label, it's a kind of Swedish death metal in a modern way.
with progressive
I don't know.
influences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So talking about well now we'll start about the name because no, no, as I said in the first question, we will talk about other matters into the metal world. So starting with one question, what is your opinion about the vinyl and the vinyl comeback around the world? Because it's a huge success now, 5 or 10 years ago, and but now at the same time we have a lot of people from 18, 15 they love to play. They love to use. Sorry, they love to use iTidal, iSpotify, iTunes with a playlist, picking one, two, three, or maximum four songs in an album. So for you, what is your opinion about this matter? The digital platform is the new wave of tape trading, because in the 80s when I did that, it was a tape trading, but now it's the digital trading because it's the only way to hear new music. So what is your opinion about this a lot of changes into the music, the vinyl comeback, etc., etc.?
I think the vinyl comeback is something because humans like to collect things. It's very pretty to have many vinyls in your cupboard, and you can say, I have this special edition, I have this special edition. I think metalheads especially are very very into collecting things. Um, and the digital world of music nowadays makes it easier for small artists to get famous. I think that's one pro argument for it. Otherwise, it's much harder to gain to gain money because you can get the music almost for free.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes. Well,
and also, I think there is a connection between the digital, the rise of the digital media and the comeback of vinyl, because it is not important to buy a dual case CD nowadays. So because you have Spotify, iTunes, or whatever, you just stream the music. What is fine. I do it by myself a lot of time when I'm in the car. I listen to podcasts and all the stuff, albums, and I don't have to change the CD. So there's a lot of good things about it, of course. But and on the same in the same time, we want to have something physical in our hands, and we have all those great album covers and artworks, yeah. And if you have a vinyl, you have it even bigger on it, and you have a special edition. You can put out the vinyl itself, and you have a splatter vinyl or something like that. And that's really cool to collect at the same time. So you don't have to buy this jewel case just to hear the music. You can stream it, but you can also spend your money on a vinyl, which is not that much. That's what is that is not so expensive, but you have more to put in your cupboard. So and it's in, hold it in your hand, and so I think there's a connection between this. Yeah.
mhm. Okay, okay. So now talking about a little again to this new album, what are the future plans that the band has for cancel of the prediction? Perhaps a tour in whole Europe. Now the pandemic is ending, and into this matter, why are you decide to release a new album during the I think the ending of this pandemic?
We have some dates this year already, and we hope they will happen. It's in Germany. It's not that sure that all concerts that have been have been uh,
Terminated. So
terminated. Yeah, thank you. That have been terminated can happen because our numbers of my cat is screaming. I'm sorry. Yeah, because the number of our infections are just going up and down, up and down. So we hope for a tour with Council of Prediction in the end of this year. And maybe Tom can say something to maybe a new record.
yeah, we so as I already said, we wrote this album during the pandemic and lockdown and home office stuff, and recorded this in Hamburg by Eike Fries and Denis Meissner the last year. And then from this on, we talked about a tour, which was really hard because we were just down deep into the pandemic situation. And but we thought, okay, now let's plan a tour. We set a release date in March, and I thought, yeah, let's try to make a tour at the end of the year. And now we have a lot of plans to go all around Germany and some dates in Europe. Of course, we have to keep an eye on the pandemic and, of course, on the war at the moment. So, yeah, let's see what happens. But there are big plans to tour, and there is another album in the making already, and some special surprises also. So, let's try to go on from this.
Okay, okay. Well, one thing that we saw during all your career is that the first album, where the God divide, has a special of a mountain into the cover art. Then in the Rise of Kronos, the second album, I think it's the same mountain, but it's doing an eruption there. So then I tried to relate the River of Souls with a like lava there, with a purple lava there. And now Council of the Prediction has when a gathering of all gods of something like that. So perhaps is there a connection into these four cover arts to save one perhaps a concept albums?
A
Please
little
start,
bit,
Tom.
I think. Yeah, I think something that goes on from album to album is that we write the songs, write the lyrics, and just put them together, put them in an order, and afterwards we think, yeah, somehow it turns out to be a conception, a concept album. So on every album, we yeah thought afterwards, okay, it could be a concept album, but we haven't um, got the idea at the moment where we write the album. So afterwards, it's always somehow a concept. Of course, we try to start from the Greek mythology and evolve to our own universe. And that's something we started at River of Souls, and we will go on from now. So on Concept of Prediction, we try to carry on with the storyline somehow. But on every album there are a couple of songs that stand beside the storyline. So there, especially for example, there's a song on the new record called "Allegory of the Cave," which refers to Plato and to philosophy and enlightenment and something like that. So there is a storyline, but we always try to have some sidekicks.
Okay, into this new album, I saw three names: Brita Gortz, Thomas Guttard, and Lucas, and that's a Russian name, I think. Lucas Zviastny. So Lucas
Yeah.
Zviastny. So when you compose new songs, do you think first and who will be the future for this song, or perhaps when perhaps you have all at the end of the song?
It was a very spontaneous idea. And we first wrote all the 6 songs, and then we thought, how would they sound if someone else would perform them? And then we thought, which vocalists do we know? And then we asked them, hey, would you like to perform a song with us as a feature? And those three songs we decided to to give to them were the fittest for them. They fitted especially on these 3 songs. It was just as they were written for them.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Well, we are very close to this interview, guys. And one question: according as you know, a lot of bands into the world are releasing albums, are releasing EPs, splits, compilation, a lot of new music into there now in the digital platforms. So what is the biggest strange that this console of the prediction has compared to the a lot of bands into the world now?
I think what is really special about this album is that it has its own universe in it. So if you start with Rise of Kronos and with concept prediction, you will find out that there's a whole universe based on the Greek mythology, takes you with us into the whole new thing. And also, it's all batted in this modern Swedish death metal sound. And especially if you have the chance to meet us live, we are going to be really nice to you. So listen to our album and come to our show so we can be nice to you.
Okay. Well, Tom and Tim, the sad times arrived at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one as I did, and thank you very much for your time, guys. You are wonderful guys. Your last album is a great one. Congratulations for that. Any last
you.
words do
Thank
you
you.
want to add to your Latin American fans and Metallarium readers?
Just as Tom said, if you have the chance to meet us live and be there and headbang with us in front of the stage, be there. And until then, listen to our new album and to our old stuff. And yeah, keep supporting metal.
Yeah, and thank you very much for this nice interview.
Yeah.
Just go on with your YouTube channel and your site. So really great interviews as we have seen so far. So thank you very much for having us. And yeah, let's meet us all on tour again, have a beer together, and have a lot of fun supporting death metal and metal overall. So thank you very much.
Hopefully someday we can come to Latin America. Tell your local bookers to book Rise of Kronos.